Hey guys, it's Ryan from resume2offer.com. We're going to be talking a little bit about cyber sales, cybersecurity sales, and for an account executive. And I'm going to give you a few different tips today. Felt inspired to do this. As you may see, I may look a little bit slightly different than I usually do. You guys see me usually in my home, my casual outfit, my remote setting look. Now I'm actually at a business conference, and this is kind of the uniform you should be wearing when you're doing professional networking. So this is me kind of in the business sense, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about this. I just got done with a meeting and networking. I'm going to be going out later, and I'm not going to say where I am, but it is definitely in a different area of the United States. And I'm in a very old, amazing hotel that's over 100 years old. There's a lot of history here. And if you walk around the halls, there's photos of old celebrities from like the 20s and 30s and 40s. So it's really, really cool. I'm gonna have my friend actually join me in tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow evening he'll be joining me, and we're gonna be here for about a whole week. So today we're gonna talk about cybersecurity sales and being an account executive. If you've never been to this channel or it's your first time, I'm kind of a little bit of a mix where I've done a lot of stuff in the staffing recruiting element as well as the sales element, and I kind of juggle kind of both. I run a recruiting team. I also run a sales team. And I've done different things from SaaS sales, tech sales, cybersecurity sales. Currently, I'm doing more automation sales. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, but it gives me a unique, perspective to kind of hear from both the candidate side, the client side, but also on the sales side and the sales floor. So I want to give you guys a little bit of some tips for today. Number one, pillars of belief. Okay, so when you're talking to different clients, they have to believe in certain elements of what you're giving, what makes you separate from everybody else. And sorry, the lighting is kind of old school lighting here, but there's pillars of belief. They have to believe in your company. They have to have a level of trust. They have a level of certainty that you're able to carry out the job. So belief in your company, belief in your service or product, right? That you can get the job done, but overall believe in you. They have to believe that you as the account executive are going to be the communicator and the bridge between their business and your business. You're able to seamlessly interact and integrate both teams synergistically. Very, very key. There's a lot of companies that do amazing stuff, but it really is the salesperson as the broker, the deal, the person who's the bridge, the expert communicator to do that. And it really, sales means to serve. You're of service to your client as well as the company you're working with. As a salesperson, though, you have to feel like you're in business for yourself. So just be aware of that. I know it's kind of fluctuating with weather. So pillars of belief, your company, your service, overall, they have to believe in you. Okay. There's actually 7 pillars of belief internally as a salesperson. I'll make that maybe a different time, but they are very essential. But for when you're talking to clients, it's 3. Okay, 3 specific ones. Some different tips on how you talk to different clients. So if you've ever heard, Myers-Briggs, for example, there's a personality test. And usually when you're actually getting a job offer, they give you this personality test or an assessment. I'm going to make a separate video because I've had to do it. I've had to give it. And nowadays with a lot of automation and applicant tracking systems, they have part of them personality tests. So say you're trying to join a finance company. They have a category for all their top 10% finance people, right? So they have demographics. They know the likelihood, probability, so that when new applicants come in, they can rate them on this person has a 90% chance to being one of our top 10% people. So it's good to understand different personality types, what's out there, what's being tested, so you can kind of match that, as well as kind of like what works with different people and how you communicate with them. So in sales, for example, so this is good twofold. One, you want to understand personality tests and what they're looking for so that when you're going into the market or whatever job, you understand what other top 10% are doing so you can match that on those personality exams. And sometimes it comes down to them. I was being interviewed once for a high-level job, like basically the number 2, number 3 position. And it was, I went through first stage, second stage, third stage, and then personality test. And it was actually that's how I got it at the end. So be aware of those things that they might come up. When you're talking to clients for cybersecurity, for example, you want to understand, you don't want to overdo it or overthink it, but understand that there's certain personalities with people you're talking to. It might be the department head, director, or CEO. They might fall into a certain category of personality, and you want to make sure that you match that personality or at least know how to communicate to them. So, for example, learning stuff like the Myers-Briggs. I know the light is fluctuating like crazy. The Myers-Briggs, for example, the color sequence is another personality exam. The GEMS sequence, the anagram. Anagram's a really great one. That one's like 9 sequences. There's also one, when I was living in Japan, people were obsessed with blood type. Your blood type determined, you could even talk about like the astrology. What sign are you? And you have certain things like that. And they're not 100% true, but it gives you a good parameter of how to maybe interact or communicate to the other person so you're speaking their language a little bit easier. Okay. And I've found weirdly the anagram was very, very accurate. Didn't believe it at first, and then I started doing my own test. People were able to nail me. We did it with other friends, and we're like, oh my God, that's exactly right. So the anagram's a really good one. It's a little more complex and takes a little longer to learn, but good to know. Okay. Networking and professionalism. As an account executive, your job is consistently building relationships. Okay. Making networking part of your repertoire is very, very important. You should be going out networking. You should be just networking generally. And if you're not communicating, your business is not open. Okay. So you need to also make sure that if you're going into cybersecurity or tech sales in general, you are a student continuous. You're very teachable. You're very coachable. You're always interested in learning more. You should be interested in learning about tech and the industry. You should be learning about cybersecurity. You should be learning about sales, for example, okay? Sales in all regards. And you should also be learning about business professionalism. And you should be a student and looking at those kind of areas and always getting a little bit better at each one and creating a knowledge bank. A great easy thing to do is at least a half an hour, if not an hour, read on those subjects. One of those subjects, something that's in your industry that you can use in real time, and create a notebook. Create a notebook. Ooh, actually, I got a great example. Here's one of my notebooks. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's a notebook of notes. Those are all notes that I've taken from books, from podcasts, YouTube videos, mostly books, by the way, and my own journaling and brainstorming. I'm writing them all down. I mean, this is stuff that you can do, and that's not the only one. I have a lot. And so you want to create that journal so that you can always go back to it, and you're creating your own encyclopedia of knowledge. Okay. And at least once a year, you're going to a conference, a seminar, event that focus on one or more of these things, and you're masterminding with those people, you're networking. This is one of those things, you're creating those relationships. And a lot of those relationships, you're not trying to like sell. You're not trying to like pitch them. You're just making friends. You're just figuring out the other person. And then probably down the road, if not then, they can become a client. There might be something that, you know what, actually I have a solution for you. And they're comfortable enough telling you what maybe the challenge or the obstacle or the need is that they're facing currently. Okay. So let's go into the actual, like, if you're an account executive, this is a great example. We have this client right now who's an education software that I'm talking to, and there's different stages of being an account executive. So this changes from time to time. Sometimes you're full cycle sales where you're doing everything. You're doing the lead generation, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the pitching, you're doing the closing. That's what full cycle means. You're doing all of it. Tech sales has kind of evolved where it's now segmented, like an SDR or BDR. And I mean, depending on the company, those terms can mean a lot of different things. But usually now you have somebody who's actually generating the leads and they're setting up the call for you. Okay, so that's in a lot of times. If you're in a startup company, usually you're doing full cycle more and more and more, like I do. So I've been in companies where somebody sets it up for me. I'm on other companies where I'm doing everything. And if you're in a startup, you should be doing everything so you can figure out what works, so that when you train other people, you're training them the right way. So first stage is usually when I contact a person. So number one, you're doing outbound, you get a lead. Okay, a lead is good. First thing you want to do is a discovery call. discovery call is really kind of like an interview. It's just a small talk about, tell me about yourself, tell me about your business, what made you kind of look, or what was it about our ad that resonated with you or made you kind of like want to actually have this conversation. And you have the discovery is really discovering about your client. It's discovering their needs, wants, where they want to be, where they want to position themselves, and what can you do for them. Okay, you're not pitching so much, but you are at least describing more of what you do to see if it's a good fit. The next stage after that is the demonstration stage, where you demonstrate what your services can do. And that can mean a lot of different things. Sometimes it's in person, right? You're doing a demo. Other times, especially in tech sales, a lot of the time it's done via Zoom and you're showing a platform or software or a new tool that you can do. Or it could be, if it's more of a hardware thing. When I was doing cyber security sales, a lot of our stuff was not, we were long story short, but we couldn't like show you a platform. It wasn't that kind of cybersecurity. What we did was we did showcase kind of more of a PowerPoint presentation to kind of show like, hey, this is what we can do for you. Here's your models. Here's like how long it's going to take, the time duration. So discovery stage and then the demo stage. Discovery stage should take about like 15-20 minutes. Did I say that right? Discovery 15-20 minutes. Demo should be like, depending on the person's time, 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, usually around my demos are around 40 minutes. And it's good sometimes to have another technical person who can relate to the client or relate to the person you're speaking to as a third party, who can answer maybe some questions or objections that may, there's some stuff on some tech and software coding that I'm like, I have no idea, but I have a tech background or a tech person behind me who can answer that. So I'm doing like kind of the general 50% of the talking. I let them do the client do a lot of asking questions if they have them specific. And then I have my tech person also being able to chime in at the right time. And then after that, you kind of do talk about the proposal. So in between the demo and kind of the next call is when you send your proposal. Hey, this is what we can do for you. And just a recommendation, you always want to have like a little bit of a backup plan, something to sweeten the deal. If it's like, what, I don't know if they really bit, I don't know if that really hooked them. What else can we do to sweeten the pot? So you always want to make sure you have some negotiating bandwidth. And then after that, it's obviously you can close. Closing is a very art and skill that I'd have to talk about for a lot longer, but closing is really like, hey, are you ready to move forward? There's a lot of different ways you can close, but it's seeing if it's the right fit and then getting started right away when they're ready to say yes. Okay, when they've made the decision, get ready to like, okay, we're going to get started. Not like, oh, cool, I'll send the paperwork 5 days later. No. It should be like right away. Okay, you have to be very responsive. If they're like, hey, it's on the hook, you got to strike when the iron's hot. If they say no, you keep following up pleasantly, tactfully. You follow up. Sometimes it actually takes multiple times of following up for them, and then it's at the right time for them. No doesn't mean no. It means no, not right now. Okay, so maybe it might come in. Or if you're really good and really pleasant to them, that hey, maybe it's just not the fit. Maybe it's a different budget. It's not the right. Your services don't match actually their needs. But if you're really good, they will refer you to maybe people in their circle, and that could be a referral. It could be a great network to tap into. So you want to follow up consistently and do it at the right time. You have to judge per client how much they want to be contacted. Usually it could be once a month, once every 3 months, once every 6 months. But there's a good saying in business, the fortune is in the follow-up. So follow up. The same thing with job hunting. A lot of people who we've hired are people that followed up. They applied, maybe it wasn't the right fit, or they were way overqualified or underqualified, but they kept following up. And our need, we had a position open, they're the first person we call. So I hope that really helps. Overall, keep building your skill sets so they can use them in your current company. It's always good to, you need your product information, you need the market information, you need the competitor information. You want to start learning these things, but don't forget to always go back to yourself and focus on building your own skill sets. Focus on yourself for creating that, just automation machine that gets stuff done, that is a business magnet and is professional, ethical, with integrity. And trust me, things are going to open up for you. All right. So I hope that helps. Again, check out our links below for things that might help you. I do have a free Google Drive that basically gives you free resume templates, scripts, tips, uh, programs and books that I've used that I feel have really escalated and accelerated my own career. So, and also feel free to reach out if you have a question about something, or if you want to send me your resume, I can take a look, maybe add a few notes to it. But send that to me through my emails below. All right, guys. All right. Take care. All right. Have a good one. Oh, and happy Halloween.